The Big Ten Coach of the Year, unanimous for those asking. Tom Izzo was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. I highly recommend everybody goes listens to it. Izzo was really candid on there. It was a great show, great interview, all that. But there was one point where obviously he was asked about the rivalry, right, and asked about the whole thing, the whole situation that went down with the logo nonsense that is still dragging on, by the way, which I want to throw this out there as a Michigan State fan. Really over it. Very much over it. Needed to go away. We got a tournament to try to win. Let's lock in real quick. But one of the things that Izzo said on that show, he said, you're supposed to hate your rival. There was a lot more to that. He went on to say some things, quote some things such as like I used to talk to John Beeline all the time, and I would tell him like, yeah, like I hate you guys. I respect you, and I always respect my rivals. But you're supposed to hate your rivals. And he used the analogy, would you like your wife's ex-boyfriend? Which is, I guess that's a good analogy to use. Definitely don't like my wife's ex-boyfriend. Excuse my language. Fuck them. But look, kind of talking about the rivals, Dion, who is West Virginia's rival, by the way? Who's y'all op?
Pitt, which
Pitt.
Tristan likes to remind me.
Oh,
Tristan's been, by the way, Tristan's been poking fun at West Virginia missing the tournament. I'm not sure he's aware. Pitt also isn't in the tournament.
yeah,
Just so
also they
you
were nowhere close. Like they
know,
weren't snubbed. They weren't even considered.
weren't even close. And Pitt, he's like tossing jokes about West Virginia missing it. Like you enjoy the NIT. We declined that invitation.
Right. Come on now. But so what I want to get your thoughts on, because I thought Izzo really actually came about this the right way. There is supposed to be a hate for your rivals, but also like a level of just like respect. I think I come from a good spot on this because I'm able to respect what Michigan does, right? Like I respect what Dusty has done this year. I respect what the Michigan basketball team has done. Do I have issues like with like do I want to see them succeed and be great? Hell no. F that. Like we did the save the Big Ten thing this year, so I kind of got in on it. But if I had my choice, winless, zero wins, nothing, no titles, no banners, no nothing like that. That's how it should really be. Um, but at the same time, I think it's subjective though because it makes it tough when you have to do the same thing for other areas of your rival. Like, you know, I had the hardest time respecting Michigan football because I hate Jim Harbaugh. I also think Jim Harbaugh is a good football coach, but like I don't like the guy himself. So, uh, Dion, give me your how to handle your rivals one-on-one, presented by Professor Dion.
I just want to unequivocally say this: fuck Jim Harbaugh.
Uh,
I hate Jim Harbaugh. But no, honestly, so I think Dusty dropped the ball here. When Michigan was about to shoot the free throws to go up five in the Big Ten tournament, I'm subbing dudes in and we're kissing we're kissing half court. We're we're kissing half court on the way out of there. I was all in on Dusty, like what he did in the beginning, because I think every rivalry needs that juice a little bit, right? Like, to kind of pump it up, and like you got Izzo doing the interview trail now. Like, I only think this benefits both teams. It puts both teams on the map. I'm not saying keeps them relevant because they won the regular season title, the other one the conference title, but um, it adds to the rivalry a little bit. What also will is if Jackson Richardson goes to Michigan and not Michigan State, like there's elements of like this back and forth that I think is only going to benefit both teams on the recruiting trail, in terms of NIL funding, so on and so forth. So I'm a big fan of what Dusty did early. I was a big fan of the way Izzo handled it. I love the like, ain't nobody gonna disrespect our tradition. Where's Trey? And he brought him out to do that. Like, I loved every aspect of what everyone did. I love Trey Holloman getting in their face. By the way, Cart, like I saw you say this on the original video. There's no way Jaden Akins politely asked them to move off.
Yes, he did, man. Look, J.A. is a stand-up guy. He said, "Hey, fellas, Mr. Kaysen, Mr. Fat, if y'all just step to the left a little bit so my guys can kiss the logo." And then, of course, Jigathon, all he knows is smoke. So he said, "Yeah, let's get violent."
I love Trey Oliver. Love Trey Oliver. But I mean, I loved the fact that it was LJ Kaysen and Fat Fat. Like if it wasn't Fat Fat, I don't think I like it as much. But just the fact that Fat Fat was involved in something special. But yeah, I mean, across the board, like I think everyone handled it well. Like it didn't go over the top. They did all this, and the cops weren't involved. Which with Michigan football, the cops are always involved. Um,
No,
no punches
no
were
one got
thrown.
tased, no one got maced. That's good.
Yeah, with multiple tunnels, Like I feel like they did all this. It's very dramatic. It keeps everybody in the limelight. It puts the rivalry back on like the map. I can't remember the last time like Michigan State like felt like it had a little extra juice to it.
Yeah, no, I think it's good to have. It's good for both the teams to be good too. Like I think it adds a little bit to the rivalry, and it makes a lot of sense. I also want, since I have this platform in this show to speak on this, I want to let it be known that LJ Kaysen has to earn the LJ back. That's Lorenzo. Lorenzo and Fat Fat were on the logo. And look, LJK Lorenzo had himself a good game after in the Big Ten tournament, so good on him. But until he beats us, that's Lorenzo moving forward. But look, the main point of this is I think Izzo assessed this correctly. You are supposed to hate your rivals, but you have to respect them. And I thought he had that with Beeline. I think he has that with Dusty as well. Like I think it's not, obviously it's the first iteration of it with Dusty at the helm, but I genuinely believe that Izzo actually does respect Dusty and respect Michigan's basketball program this season, and for the most part always does. But leave no doubt he wants to beat those guys and he hates those guys, and you should always want to beat and hate your rivals, including Pitt too, because Pitt's my rival as well, because Tristan's my rival.
I also don't know if like I think you have to respect your rivals, by the way.
Is respect overrated?
Yeah, like maybe respect like year 10, Like once Dusty and Izzo have done the like 7 years back and forth thing, maybe.
Yeah,
But I think the first
Dusty
five or
has
six
to
years,
earn the respect, right?
absolutely. Now
Yeah.
Dusty should have an element of respect for Tom Izzo, the coach. In my
Mhm.
opinion, that's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Like growing up, it was always Izzo, Izzo and Coach K. Calipari came on and like in my realm like a little later, Roy Williams as well when he got to North Carolina. But like Izzo to me is one of the greatest coaches of all time. You should have respect for that. Because there's a world you only make as much money as you do because Tom Izzo existed. But in terms of on the court, I ain't no respect for none of them. For none of them. Like I don't. I'm anti handshake line. Like I don't understand that. I'm definitely anti handshake line in the rivalry games. Like I don't. It'll never make sense to me why we have to go shake hands after we just went to war for 2 hours essentially. Like no, we can shake hands like maybe when we're all said and done here. But I don't know. I loved every aspect of all of this. In my opinion, they handled the rivalry well. The only difference I would have done, Dusty, let's get a little petty. They want to win the regular season title, kiss the logo. That's cool. Let's kiss the logo as we're winning the conference championship too.
That would have been hilarious, and I would have had a lot of respect for Dusty in that case. But yeah, I think doing this and being a part of Sleepers, I have learned to show a little bit more respect in certain spots because let it be known, pre-Sleepers Carter, one of the most disrespectful human beings of all time. But growth is a real thing. And also being 2-0 against your rival this year is a real ass thing. So let's let that be known. But shout out to Coach Izzo, shout out to Pat McAfee. We're welcome to come on the show too at any time. You just let us know.